Hey, hello everyone. Good morning. Can you confirm audible or not? Are you able to hear me?
Sir,
Yeah. So last class where we stopped. Can anyone? Last class what we discussed? Hmm? Last class what we discussed? Hmm? Any one of you? Jupyter notebook. Last class we discussed about the variables, right? Tell me what kind of variables we have. Tell me what kind of variables we have. Hmm? Yesterday we discussed, right? One is like, come on, three types of variables you can write inside the class, right? Three types of variables we can write. What are those? One is like static variable, another one is like instance variable, and another one is like local variable. Okay, there has three types of variables we can write it. So which variable we can say like a static, which variable we can say like a instance, which variable we can say like a local. Again, I'm telling this concept is common for any programming language. Okay, now tell me, in the class A there has n1 equals to 10. This is one variable. In this, in the constructor, self n2 equals to n2. Okay, n2 value you assigned, this is one variable n2. And in the third place is like dfsvm n3. The n3 I used here. See, total n1, n2, n3, three types of variables we have. Okay, now I'm going to give, okay, which variable we can say like a static or instance or local. Now I can say this is like a static. We can discuss. I can say this is like a instance. Okay, I can say this n3. Okay, n3 I can say like a local. I can say like a local. Okay, now syntactically, see, the static variables where we are going to write inside the class, outside any one of the method, we are going to declare the variable, we can say like a static. Syntactically, when you can go with the static, we'll tell. Now tell me, static variable where we are going to declare inside the class, outside of any method. Say this, outside of any method, inside the class, if you declare a variable, that variable I can say like a static variable. Understood everyone? Syntactically, when you can go with the static, we'll discuss. Come on. In a class, you declare one variable inside the class, a variable you declared inside the class, outside any method. That kind of variables I can say like a static variables or class level variables. Class level variables. Okay, now n2 is there na? This variable I'm telling like instance variable. Okay, can anyone tell me, did you heard about one of the terminology called as a instantiation? Instantiation. Anyone heard about the terminology? Any programming language? Instantiation is nothing but object creation. Object creation. Terminology wise, perform instantiation is nothing but you are creating an object. Instantiation is nothing but object creation. Understood? Instantiation is nothing but object creation. In the name itself, instance variables are, okay, create by using an object reference or not. Say this, instance variables we are going to place inside the object. This kind of variables, what we can say, instance variables using an object. Self is my object, is nothing but instance. Instantiation is nothing but object creation. Instance is nothing but an object. Object dot any one of the variable you can write it. Okay, these two I can say like a instance variable. Why? Because in the instance only I created the variables. Understood everyone? Syntactically tell me, all are okay? Okay, the next one, local variables. Can anyone tell me local variables? Okay, see, this n3 is like a local to this particular method or not. Can I use this method outside or not able to use? Can I use this can I use this variable outside the sum? No, that kind of stuff. Okay, why? Because the scope of this n3 I can say like within the sum only, in this block only. So my n3, the variable which is declared inside the method or variable which is declared as a parameter or argument, I can say that variable is like a local variable. Why? Because that variable I can use within that particular method only. Outside the method we can't. Understood everyone? One. Agreed everyone? Okay, terminology wise tell me the variable which is declared inside the class, outside the methods. I can say like a static. The variables we declared by using instance. Instance is nothing but object. By using an object, I can say like a what? I can say like a instance variable. The variable which is declared inside the method, okay, which is declared inside the method, or the variable which is declared as an argument of the method, I can say like what? Local variable or not. If it is like local, this n3 I can use inside this method only. This is local. Okay, outside we can't use. Understood? Agreed everyone? Now my question is, when you can go with the static variable, when you can go with the instance variable, when you can go with the local variable? That is the question. Okay, see, declaration we defined, but the exact definition of static variable is what? Exact definition of the static variable is what? Okay, when you can go with the static variable, when you can go with the static variable, anyone? When you can go with the static variable? Hmm? Very simple. I have one simple example is there, you only tell. Can you represent something about the data for student or one student? One student. Represent the data. Which data I want, his name, his roll number, his school name. That's enough for me. Okay, tell me how we can write the data representation for the student one in general. Tell me. Hmm. His name equals to yes, one. Next. Hmm. His roll number equals to one. His school name is like BTS, like this. This is okay. This is about student one data or not? Yes or no? Hmm? Why we go for variable? To store the data, right? So that I created like three variables about which one? Student one. Okay, na everyone? Come on. Now they said like, hey, can you create one more student also? Can you create one more student? Tell me how we can create the one more student details I want. One more student details. Tell me. Name equals to yes to. Okay, na? Next. Roll number equals to 2. Next. School name is what? Within the school only. This is first student details and this one is my second student details or not? Okay, within the same school only. Same school only. Yes or no? This is like a first student details and this one is like what? Second student details or not? Okay, now first student means student available. What I can say? One object is available. Physically, student is available. If I ask the question, hey, tell something about yourself, then that time my student tell like, okay, my name is S1, roll number is like 1, school is like VTS. When he can tell these details, whenever the student is available, whenever the object is available. Same like the student 2 also available. Okay, if you ask, then the time he is answered like this. Now, if you observe this data representation, one student to another student, which data is like vary? Vary means different. One student to another student, which data is like different? Come on.
Roll number.
Name, roll number. One student to another student, this data is different or not? Which data is like a common? My school is like common or not? Now I'm going to write one small definition. You only tell. Read it. Okay, now say this. Value of the variable, okay, is different from one object to another object. Okay, create that variable as static. Okay, sorry, instance. Okay, same. Can I copy this? You only define, you only explain. Read it. Say value of the variable. Say this value of the variable. Yes, one no VTS. These all are like a values, right? Value of the variable is different from, okay, is different from, okay, one object to another object. In that case, declare, okay, that variable or those variables as instance variables. Now tell me, in this particular scenario, which variables you want me to declare like a instance variable? Which variables data is different from one student to another student? I mean one object to another object. Which student details are different from one object to another object? Come on, which student details different from one object to another object? Come on, which student details are different? Come on, one student to another student, which details are different? Which variables data is like different? One is like name, another one is like what? Different, not same. Okay, one is like name, another one is like what? Roll number or not? Okay, so this is one object is nothing but one student. This is like one student, one variable. Okay, the variable data is like vary or different from one object to another object, one student to another student. That type of variables you can declare like a instance variable. So that in this scenario, which variables you want me to declare like an instance? Name, roll number. Okay, the next definition. Value of the variable is same from one object to another object. See this. This variable value is what? VTS. This particular object, the student value is what? School. VTS. Both are like, okay, studying in the same school. The value of the variable is common or same for one object to another object. That kind of variables can you declare as a static variables or not? Understood, everyone? What is static and what is instance? Value of the variable is common for one object to another object. Is common from one object to another object. That kind of variable we can say like a static. The value of the variable is like different from one object to the another object. Declare that kind of variable as instance variables. Now, can you create one student class? Can you represent this data? How we can? When you create one student class, can you represent this data? Come on, how we can create a student class? How we can create the student class? Come on, tell me. Class, student, done. How many variables you have to declare? As per my last requirement, name, roll number and school. Okay, Which variable you want me to declare like a static? Which variable you want me to declare like a static?
School
School name I want to declare like a static. Okay, how we can declare a static variable? The static variable is like a class variable that should be inside the class, outside the methods or not. So this particular variable I can say like what, a static variable or not. Okay, now tell me, instance variable. Instance variable, if you want to create, okay, first thing, what is required? What input is required for you? Guess. If you want to create instance variable, tell me, instance variable, how you created? I can say n2 is like an instance variable. Okay, how you created like instance variable? By using an object or not? By using an instance or not? Yes or no? Okay, that means if you want to create a instance variable, first you should have in your hand instance is nothing but object or not. Can anyone guess? Okay, can anyone guess? Okay, can anyone confirm? Okay, I can confidently say this place. Okay, if I am in this place, my object is available. Confidently I can say, okay, if I am in this place, my object is available. Can anyone tell me that place? Understood my question? Okay, I am in one location. From that location I can confidently say, okay, yes, my object is available in this location. Which place that is?
constructor.
Constructor or not? Okay, how you can say like a constructor? Can you explain? How we can say like a constructor? Can you explain? Why?
While
Because
creating a
yeah, I am in this location means, okay, when this location is going to execute, whenever object created or not. Yes or no? I am in this particular location, for example. Okay, when the execution come to this location, whenever init is executed. When my init is executed, whenever object created or not. Object created means, yes, I can say like what? Object is available. Yes or no? If I am in this particular underscore underscore init location, confidently I can say, hey, object is available with me. Yes or no? Why? Because the init is going to call whenever you create an object only. Okay, now let's go. Def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Yes. Understood everyone? If I am here, I can confidently say like what? I can confidently say like what? Yes, my object is available or not. Now, whenever I create an object for this particular class, you know that there has an error. What is that error? What is that error? Whenever you create an object, yes, my constructor or my underscore underscore init is going to call. Underscore underscore init is going to call, but it is called by passing, okay, by default in Python in the class, any method called by Python, okay, they add, okay, any method you call or Python call, they passed like one parameter. That parameter is what? Current
parameter.
class object or not. So that now it gives me an error. Now it gives me an error. What is that error? Okay, this is my student. This is my error. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore take 0 positional argument, but 1 was given or not. Yes or no? Agreed with me? Hmm? All are okay. Now, what is the fix for this? What is the fix? What is the fix for this? Anyone? Come on. What is the fix? You can add. They are giving like one argument, right? Okay, but you are not taking. So can you take that one? Now there is no issue. Now object is available or not available? Object is available or not available? Tell me. Object is available or not available? Now in this location, object is available or not? Yes.
Well,
Whenever object is available, can you create a instance variables? Okay, how we can create an instance variable? Self dot name. Okay, the next variable is what? Self dot roll number or not. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, Still my requirement is not satisfied, I will tell. Now tell me, how many students you want me to create? How many students you want me to create? Tell me, how many students? Two students. Two students means two objects or not? Yes or no? Okay. Now, whenever you created a first student means first object, can you pass the first student details? If I hard code like this, then what happened? How many student objects you create, name and roll number is what? How many students objects you create? See, student 1. My student 1 std1 dot name is what? Yes. Okay, not executed. So now come here. My student 1 name is what? Come on. Yes, 1. I created one more student object. Possibility there or not there? Second student. My second student name also what? See this. std2 dot name is what? Same name only, right? My first student roll number is what? 1. My second student roll number is like what? 1. Is it right expected output? This is my first student, this is my second student. First student roll number is 1, second student roll number is what? Should be 2. Why coming like 1 here also 1? You hard coded the data, right? You want me to hard code student 1 details and student 2 details are like same or different from one object to another object? Tell me, student 1 and student 2 details are like same or vary or different from one object to another object? Different or not? That the reason you want me to hard code or you want me to get the details dynamically? Which one is recommended one? Get the details dynamically or not? Whenever you create a student 1, whenever my student 1 is available, then only can you pass the data. Which data? My student 1 data. Yes. Can anyone tell me, if I run this one, what exactly the error was? How many are given?
Okay.
3. Okay. S1 1 and Python self. Total 3 values given to whom? Which method? Whenever you create an object, which method called? Init. 3 were given, but hold how many? 1 only, right? Take one positional argument, but 3 were given or not? So that here you given 3, you can hold how many? 3 only. Your wish, name n, roll number r. Whenever you given like 3, you hold like 3 only, no error. Now first value like n s1 can I assign to name? Second value r can I assign to roll number? Done. Yes or no? Now if you come here, okay, now my student roll number is like 1. Student 1 roll number is like 1. His name is like what? Yes, 1. Done. Now I want to create one more student. Now what is the error? You can get it. Okay, say this. Missing 2 required positional arguments n r. Why? Because self Python passed, but n value r value you have to pass it or not? What is my n value for my second student? What is my r value, roll number, for my second student? Now if you see the second student details, now this is like vary from one object to another object or not? Yes or no? Come on, agreed with me? My student 1 dot, okay, what is my school name? School name is what? VTS. My student 1 dot, student 2 dot, school name is what? VTS only or not? Agreed? Now did you understand? The value of the variable is like vary from one object to another object. Declare those variables are like what? Instance. The value of the variable is like common for one object to another object. Declare that variable as a static variable. Understood everyone? This example is okay? When you can go with the static in Python, when you can go with the instance in Python. This definition is common for any programming language. Any programming language. Definitions are common. The way of declare the static variable is different from one language to another language. The way of creating instance variables are vary from one language to another language maybe. But okay, remaining all stuff is like the definition and everything is like same. Agreed, everyone? Come on.
Yes, sir.
The next one. So I'm going to write some statement. You only answer it, okay? What's the answer? This. Regarding line number 33, anyone explain? First of all, school name is which kind of variable?
Static.
Static variable. If it is like a static variable, school name is a static variable, right? If it is like a static variable, I can access using what? std1 is what? std1 is what?
Student one object.
Student object. It is a student object. So school name is a static variable I can access by using an object. Yes, no? School name is a static variable I can access using an object. My school name is a static variable I can access by using what? What is the student? My student is a, come on, my student is what?
Class.
Class or not. That means now can you conclude one statement about the static variables? In a class, the static variables you can access by using what? By using a class name as well as by using object name also or not in Python. Yes or no? Come on.
Yes.
In Python, okay, we can access the static variables using the class name as well as by using object also. By using class name, we can access by using object also. What about name? What about name? It's a static or instance? You declared name as a static or instance? As a instance. If it is like an instance variable, how we can access it? If it is like an instance variable, how we can access it? By using object only or not. If I try to access by using the class name, then the time you can get the error is like what? That particular name attribute is not available or not. No attribute name in the student. Yes or no? Agreed with me? About the static variables and instance variables in the class? Okay. Can anyone tell me one simple example for the local variable? Can anyone tell me one simple example for the local variable? When you can go with the local variables? When you can go with the local variables? Come on.
You want to use within a method.
Local variables. Yeah. My requirement is like just I want some data so that I want to hold the data with the variable. That data I want within that particular function or method only. I don't want the data. I don't want to expose that particular variable outside of the method inside the class. For example, n3 is there. I don't want this n3 inside init or some other place. I want the n3 value within that particular function or within that particular method only. In that case, can you go with the local variable? Understood or not? You need, okay, only for that particular method only. Okay, I don't want that particular variable outside of the method. In that case, just you can go with the local variable. Okay, how we can declare the local variable? How we can declare the local variable? Come on, how we can declare the local variable? Okay, don't think more. Okay, the local variable, two ways we can declare. Two ways we can declare. One is like you can declare a variable as a, say this, you declare a variable as a parameter, that is one. Another one is like directly you can declare the variable, okay, inside the method. That particular variable is acting like a local variable only. That particular variable is acting like what? Local variable only. So the method, whatever the arguments or parameters are there, all are like local variables only for that particular class. Understood? Okay, shall we move to the next one? Now this is the time for variables completed. What kind of methods you have? What kind of methods you have? Come on, what kind of methods we have in the class? Already we discussed. What kind of methods we have in the class?
Instance, static,
There has instance methods. The next one is what?
static,
There has a static methods for there. The next one is what?
class,
There has a class methods also or not. Okay, there has three types of methods we have. One is like how the variables looks like, static variable, instance variables, as well as okay, local variables. We have three types of methods also. One is like static, okay, another one is like instance, and another one is like what? Another one is like what? Another one is like, come on, static instance and class. Static instance and class. Understood or not? Okay, now let's go. So far you created a methods, right? See, in this particular class you created a method called as a sum. What do you think about this sum? Is it like a class method? Is it like a static method? Is it like a instance method? What do you think about this? Come on, easy. The previous theory one you can apply. Sum, okay, how you are able to access total wheels are there? How you are able to access the total wheels? Using what? OBJ1. What is OBJ1?
instance,
Is an instance, right? Instance of my boss class. So if you can access a method by using an instance, only instance, if you are able to access a method using only the instance, that kind of methods, what we can say, instance methods or not. Okay, here also see the variable. This is the instance variable. If you are able to access this particular variable with only the instance, yes or no? Student one dot name, but the same student one dot okay, name I access by using student. Then that time what happened? It gives me an error. The variable I can access only using instance, that kind of variables also come under instance variables. Here also the methods which I can access only using instance, means only using an object, that kind of methods, what we can say, instance methods or not. Shall we create one simple class? My class A, def, f1 is my function, print f1. I'm telling like f1 is an instance method. So how we can access it? How we can access it? Tell me. Yes. Next, obj1 dot f1. obj1 dot f1. Okay, this is expected only, right? Can I use what? Self. Can I use what? Self. See, so far we used the same syntax. Don't think more. Now you can get the output is like what? F1 or not. Now, can I try another way? A dot f1. A dot f1. I'm getting like what? I'm getting like what? A dot f1 missing one required positional argument self. Okay, it is something different message they provided, but my a.f1 are you able to access or not? Are you able to access or not? Tell me, are you able to access or not? Not. But by seeing this message, what do you think? What you have to pass? Tell me. Come on, come on. By seeing this message, can anyone guess?
Current class.
You have to pass like, okay, missing one required positional argument is like self or not. Self or not. Okay. Now, can I pass that value? Okay, see, obj1. Now, can I call it? Can I call it? Now, observe here. obj1.f1, don't get confused. Okay, it is like you are able to access, but this kind of syntax we not used by using the class name. Okay, now if you observe here, obj1.f1, obj1.f1, you called by using an object reference. Whenever you call by using an object reference, my Python only passed what? Your current class object or not? Yes or no? Now I am able to access the method a by using what? F1. Okay, by using what? Okay, a dot f1 means by using a class name or not. I am able to access. I am able to access by using a class name. But this is self who has to pass? Who has to pass? You have to pass that object or not? Yes or no? Now this particular method is able to call by using an object as well as by using a class name. But the difference, I can say this is like an instance variable. But now you can say like what? Hey, the a you are able to call by using class name also. Can I call this particular one as like a static? Okay, we should not call syntactically. Okay, if there is no decorator, nothing. Okay, if it is like a static method, there is another syntax is there, but you have to do slight change in your definition. By using an object reference, you can call it. Whenever you call, what you are going to pass? Is it pass anything? Is it required to pass anything? Come on. One second. Yeah, I'm back. So this is like f1. Okay, you are able to access by using an object one. Okay, at that time Python only passed your instance means our object or not. The same method I am able to access by using class name also. Okay, this time you have to pass, okay, your object as a parameter or not. You have to pass that one. But you can access by using an object, okay, without passing an object. If you access by using a class name, you are the person to pass the object or not. Both you can access. Okay, by using an object reference you can access, by using a class. The difference is you have to add some more stuff here or not whenever you access by using a class. Yes or no? So now I am able to access by using an object. I'm able to access by using a class name. Can I say this particular one is like a static variable or static method? Okay, you should not call like a static method. This syntax, okay, most of the times, just I want to show you it's like access or not. This kind of syntax will never use. Will never use. If it is like a method, okay, it is expecting like what, one object, then that time better to access that particular method as like a object only. If you access by using a class name, we can access, but you have to pass as an object. Understood or not? Okay, now you said like this is not a static method, then which methods we can call like a static methods? Okay, now you can write one more method like this, print f2. If you want to declare this method as a static, we have a decorator called as a static method is the decorator. We have one decorator called as what? Static method is the decorator. Okay, at the rate static method. First of all, syntactically it's valid or invalid? See, 100% valid. 100% valid. Now, and one more thing, if you want to access, okay, static, if you want to access instance variables, okay, instance methods, what is required? Come on, if you want to access the instance method, what is required? By using a class name or by using an object, whatever it is, what is required? If you want to access this f1 by using a class, what is required? Instance is required or not? Object is required or not? But now see, if you declare a method as a static, object is required or not required? See this, a dot f2. Can I call like this? Okay, now a dot f1. Can I call? Possible? No, right? You have to pass what? Your object, you have to pass it or not? Yes or no? That means you access instance method whenever an object is available or not. By using an object you can call, or by using a class name you can call. By using class name, if you call, then the time you have to pass what? Object, you have to pass it or not. So call the instance method whenever the object is available or not. Okay, one is like by using an object dot f1 you can call it. Another one is like object you have to pass as a parameter or not. So two cases object is required. But if it is like a static method, okay, is an object is required or not required? If it is like a static method, object is required or not required? Tell me, I am able to access or not? If it is like a static method, object is required or not required? Come on, to access my f2, object is required or not required? Not required, right? Directly a dot f2 I am able to call it or not? But a dot f1, can I call? Can I call? Tell me, a dot f1, can I call? It gives me an error or not? Okay, why? This is self you added. This is self you added. Now if I remove this self, then what happened? Can anyone guess? If I remove this self, then what happened? Now can I run it? Can I run it? Okay, a dot f2 statica instance. Come on, statica instance. A dot f2 static, I am able to access. A dot f1 decorator is not there, remaining all are like same only. If I run this one, if I run this one, my a dot f1 is like what? Okay, it is also accessed by using what? By using your, come on, by using your class name or not? So this method also we can access by using a class name. This kind of methods also we can access by using a class name, by using a class name. Okay, but I want to make this particular one. Okay, we have a separate syntax is there. Okay, this one also access by using a class name. This one also access by using a class name. That's okay, fine. But I needed like, okay, I want to perform some operations on an object. That case, that object is required. Okay, so without object, then you can go with this syntax. Okay, with the object, if you want to perform some operation, then you can go with the syntax. But both you can access by using class name or not. A dot f2 you can access, a dot f1 also you can access or not. Yes or no? Agreed with me? All are okay? Okay, then when you can go with this approach, means whenever you have a class, if you want to call a method by using class name only, declare, okay, programmatically it is recommended to declare that particular method as like a static method. There is no decorator, nothing. Use that methods now onwards as a like a instance methods, pass that self as a parameter. Understood or not? Agreed with me? Both we can access, but don't use like, okay, this one I am access by using a class name, okay, so that I want to treat this one like a static method. No, it is not work out. Okay, you should have to go, okay, with the decorator, then only I can come to know. Decorator is nothing but just it is going to tell to the user, okay, this particular one is like a static method. This one also by using a class name I can access. Don't say like this is like a static method. Don't say like that. Okay, we have a separate syntax is there for the static. Understood? Got my point? Both are accessed by using a class name. Don't say like both are like static methods. Static method, if you want to say, the decorator should be static. Got my point? Okay, so a.f1, this kind of syntax 99% you will never see. Okay, static methods I can access by using a class name, but instance methods no one access by using a class name, okay, without decorator. Got my point? For example, if you have a comma b, then what happened? Remaining story, you know that. Okay, missing two required positional arguments, a and b you have to supply. Okay, if I pass like 10 comma 20, okay, just you can say like a comma b. Now if you come here, my answer should be like what, 10 20 or not? Yes or no? Agreed with me? Okay, here also if you want a comma b, now a dot f1, see, similarly it is going to work same, two required positional arguments. So if I pass like 10 comma 20, okay, can I say like a comma b? Now see, this one is like a static, and this one also able to access or not. But don't say this is like a static method. This kind of syntax you can use for instance methods. Okay, this particular syntax 99% we will not use anywhere, but for our understanding purpose, you are able to access or not? Yes, I am able to access. Understood? If you want to declare a method as a static, just you can add like a @static method decorator. Then come to know, if anybody see the code, okay, this method is like a static, he is trying to access by using a class name. Okay, understood or not? Okay, now come here, self. Okay, now the first one is like what? Come on, where obj equals to a, I created an object. Yes. Okay, obj dot f1, valid or invalid? Obj dot f1, valid or invalid? Obj dot f1, valid or invalid? Come on, valid or invalid? Obj dot f1, valid or invalid? I create an object, obj dot f1, 100% valid, right? Now obj dot f2, valid or invalid? Obj dot f2, valid or invalid? This is also 100% valid. Why? Because static variables I can use by using an object also or not. Here also same thing. Okay, I create an object, I am able to access my instance variable. Okay, instance member is nothing but instance method. I am able to access by using, okay, by using an object I am able to access my static methods also or not. Yes or no? So here one thing you have to remember, the methods you can access by using a class name, the methods we can access by using an object also. This is the general statement. That is what kind of method, instance method or static method, it's not a matter. We can access by using an object. This is only the proof. Okay, by using a class name also. Okay, by using class name also, if I pass like this f1, yes. Okay, if I pass like this a dot f2, okay, 10 comma 20, okay, By using an object also I'm able to access. By using a class name also I'm able to access or not. Agreed with me? Come on. Which variables? Okay, which members? Instance methods and static methods. Another one is what? Another one is like what? Come on, one more also there. What is that? Class methods, right? Okay, class methods, how we can access, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay, na? Up to okay, everyone? Up to okay, everyone? Any questions? Okay, then we'll see tomorrow things in next session. Okay, just practice. If you find new things, just you can note it down.